9 wood versus the powerhouse that is the 7 wood. Q, ring that bell. Which one should you go for? Who's going to win this matchup? Or is it going to be a tie and you're going to need both of these in your life? Dive into this video, be sure to hit subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you some absolute magic. This is a peach. I can't wait for you to see it. I love this golf club. It's my QI10 7 wood. I am going to be building a new QI35 7 wood. That's going to be coming to you. But let's talk about the reasons why I like it. One, the sound, the turf interaction, fantastic. We made a 9 wood on the channel over the previous weeks. I like it. I like the testing that day. Want to continue testing. That is what's happening now. But where does it sit when it comes to my 7 wood? And I've even pulled my 4 iron, which is 770 out the bag here. We might have to get into the 5. I don't know right now. So in this video, we're going to take you through what that looks like. That was a fairly solid golf shot with the 7 wood, and I'm going to need to truly get into the numbers. Club path 0, so you know you've got a chance. Face attack angle down 2.8, 97 feet on the apex, 240 was the number that it came out at, and 5,000 spin. So this has been very useful. It was a surprise to me that I would like this as much as I liked it. It gets out of bad lies. I've got the sound where I want it. The grip feels great. The club balance is good. Where would the 9 wood go? And would it replace that iron? And could I slot it in behind a 7 wood? Or would I need to pump this up and go 5 wood? What you're getting into here as a golfer is your set makeup and where they play. And how many gaps can you skip? So I go driver, 3 wood, 7 wood. Don't carry a 3 iron anymore. Don't carry a rescue. Do I change off of that set? I certainly have a squad. I've talked to you a lot about that, having multiple golf clubs that you can rely on if needed. So if we look at all shots in the 7 woods, because I've hit a few, then it's come out consistently. If I get the total number on here, which is important, 240, 244. That's what we're playing with. And then I'm actually going to look at spin rates, 4,918, 5,100 for the spin rate for the 7 wood. And also I'm going to look at apex as well, 94 and 97 feet. So it's a decent flight with a spin number that's not too much, so it doesn't stall. The worry is the 9 wood would overspin. Early testing is showing that it isn't doing that. So I've got to look at this total number and see where my 9 wood falls in on that. So change the profile on the full swing kit, put the 9 wood in. Let's lay a 9 wood down off a decent lie to start before we start looking at different areas and before you take it to the golf course. Great golf shot. Hit subscribe. I don't know what we're doing here, Q. I don't want this 9 wood in the bag, if I'm being honest. All right, let's have a little look at what we've got. Let's truly get into the details. That was ripped. So spin came out at 4,687. How did you hit it? Well, crunched it, okay? Important, because the 7 wood was hit good, but was it hit exactly the same as that? Maybe not. And ball speed was down a bit versus the 7 wood, which is good. And then if I go to total, well, it's gone very close. It's only gone 5 yards shorter than the 7 wood. So I've got a couple of shots from earlier. So if we look at averages, which are important here, I say a couple, I've got 5 shots now total. This is why I like full swing kit, because I can look at my average screen, which is what I press you to do. I'm sparing you the details because you've seen one, but my averages of 2 shots with the 7 wood is 242 and 5 shots with the 9 wood is 230. So you can see it's a 10-11 yard difference. I'm going to then switch that to spin here. 9 woods come out with slightly lower spin. Interesting. If we look across the board, I've probably hit them a little higher in the blade. That could be due to the shaft being shorter. Other thing I want to look at is apex and compare the two. It's coming out a little bit lower. Let's see if we've got anything freak here. I punched one. So if you take that one out of the results, boom, and now you're going to get maybe more of effect. There you go. Similar on the apex, which you can see here, but it does give me a slightly shorter carry. Interesting to know. So it's 10 yards shorter than the 7 wood. Could be useful, could not be useful. You have to ask yourself the question, can you hit the 4 iron that you're now not carrying a 3 So your 4-iron is your longest club, and this would be how you would test that too. Can you hit your P70 iron at a number? I mean, 230 is maybe a big 4-iron. I imagine the apex would be lower. I imagine on a draw shot, it wouldn't draw as far left because the CG, the mass, the center of gravity, isn't as far back. If you take these two golf clubs here, we've got a center of gravity in this 9-wood that's further back, which means that club could give you a little bit more turn left, but also a bit more launch out of it than the 4-iron. Also a higher apex. So think about it, if you're the golfer out there who struggles because you hit these slicey ones, well, 4-iron isn't really going to be your bad boy, is it? You're going to need to consider that 9-wood perhaps more than I am in this situation, albeit I really like that club. So we've got a 4-iron, 230 total. I think we can get that out of this, carrying probably 220, but you're going to see a flatter apex. It's also going to come down to, which is why I like fitting off of grass if you can, it's going to come down to turf interaction. So we've literally got some of the soles of the QI35 just catching the turf. Now let's have a look at how this 4-iron goes through the turf. I really like that. It pulled a little bit, being candid. Ball speed's down, 6 miles an hour, so the distance might be shorter. Spin rate down, 4,000 spin, so we'll get a bit more out of it. It carried consistently just over 200 and it went to 225. It's not as long as the 9-wood, but the telling sign is the 66 apex. It's a very low, flat apex, but turf interaction, lovely. Shaping this for me, what do you mean by that? What are you talking about? Shot shaping, left to right, right to left, I like it. Hitting it higher, I can do that. I am a big fan of a 4-iron, but I've come from playing links golf in the United Kingdom where a 4-iron is what you want. I think if you grew up playing somewhere like California where wind isn't so much of an issue, the 9-wood's going to be very friendly to you. Let's see if I can hit it higher than 66 apex. I mean, that was actually pretty good, but again, that might be not what people want for a ball flight. That's the beauty of all these golf clubs. So you can see there's the apex, but will it make the green out there? Front edge. So it's not giving me the yardage. The total came down a little bit because of the higher apex. It got up to 87 and then the ball speed was down 5,000 more 100 spin. So here's what you do to test. You then flip the 9-wood in and you go, okay, the 4-iron is shorter, but it comes out flatter. And now you've got to hit a variance of golf shots. Let's try and draw one and see how this draw shape comes out compared to the 4-iron. Remember, the 4-iron's got a steel shaft in it. It's the Torv 110 is what they market it at. I haven't measured that raw, but it's their lightweight shaft. But because it's steel, it's a bit stronger. So it's probably not going to overdraw. And as a result of the CG being further forward, it's not going to overdraw. Let's see the draw on the 9-wood. And the wind is picking up a bit now as well. So this one, be interesting to see if I can turn it over and get it all the way down there to that green. Underneath it, high to the right. So the first answer is no. Apex 114, bad golf swing. Apex 114, missed green right. And then that would be my concern, the slight overdraw from this distance. Got me the 230 out of it, got the apex down to 84, but it's a good example of not having the heavier weight of the steel in the 4-iron that I think I can control the turn left. Let's learn from the Tommy Fleetwood fitting video. Let's try and do that with the 4-iron, because we're giving you the true test here. 7-wood, again, I'm looking for it to do a different job. It goes a little further than my 4-iron, but really for me, that 9-wood would be replacing this 4-iron. Let's try and hit that draw shot with the heavier weight in the golf shaft. So you can see with the 4, it doesn't want to turn too much, but it doesn't have the height. 70 apex gave me the same yardage, but it didn't have the height of the 9-wood. So Into breeze like this, like I said, it was just picking up a little bit. You can't see much, but a little flicker in the flags. For me, the draw would be something easier than the 4-iron than it would in the 9-wood, and that's partly due to difference in the length of the shaft's weight. But if you're someone who struggles with height, if you need to stop the fairway wood versus the 9-iron into some greens because they're playing firm, if you're playing a golf course that has thick rough, this gives you more options for sure than the 4-iron. Like, I can't chop a 4-iron out of that rough the way I can chop a 9-wood out. I can't play a 4-iron out of that fairway bunker the way I can play a 9-wood out. I can't chip around the greens if needed as a little putting motion the way I can do it with the 9-wood. This definitely has some benefits, which is why I'm not ruling it out, but I'm telling you, for shot shape, for drawing and shaping and turf interaction and apex, that travels lower, maybe doesn't curve as much left on a draw shot, perhaps is easier to shape the other way as well because the CG's further forward, but you got two different clubs to do two different tools. There's a reason Tommy Fleetwood loves this club. There's a reason he uses it in tournaments. There's a reason you should consider it as a better player over the 4-iron, but I think it's one of those that you travel with as a squad member. For me, the 7-wood has got in the bag all the time because the 3-iron, there's just way more benefit for this over the 3-iron for me, because I can hit the peak height, I can miss-hit it, it doesn't overspin. I think we had 5,000 spin out of that, which means it'll land soft. Here in California, I don't need a blistering 3-iron, but I do quite like having the 4-iron should I need it. But with that, it's always fun to test, and there is a spot for this golf club, and absolutely there's a reason I want to keep hitting it. And if you get fitted for it, I think it can be helpful. I mean, still learning the golf club. You ain't hitting a 4-iron like that, are you? And that is the benefit of it, and that's why you keep going back to it. And if you can create that, a lot of people probably ask in this video, how do you hit this? Attack angle minus 4.5 on that one. If we go attack angle on the 4-irons that we hit, then you're going to see in here 4.4. So you want to use the 770 4-iron and the 9-wood the same way. Just because it's a 9-wood, you don't want to be helping it up in the air. You want to be hitting down on it, and it will give you that flight. I mean, launch angle, that'll be an interesting one to see between the two golf shots. The 7-wood is 14.5 and the 4-iron's coming out around 10. So you got a difference there. So again, that's how you get your apex, that's how you get your flight. It's useful, it's very good. It's definitely something I'm going to keep working with, and I'm going to use it as a squad player for sure. It makes you want to hit it, and the more I hit it, the more compelled I am to potentially switch into it. But you've then got to invest in a lot of head covers. But that's a you problem, not a me problem. You came here to find out if it was a 9-wood, a 7-wood, or a 4-iron. 7-wood stays for me. This goes just behind it. I think if you have a 5-wood in, you've got a better gap between the two. Then look at your wedges as to what you're going to do. This is a bigger conversation that is a squad conversation that results in a what's in the bag video for 2025, which I'm not here to bring you just yet because I haven't made my decisions. But if you subscribe, if you like what you're seeing and you stay part of this, no doubt you can catch that one and see where I land on the final decision of this very interesting, useful golf club that we shouldn't be writing off. 9-wood, check it out. Definitely got a place in the squad.